Hi, welcome back to Series Yoga, and today we are going to do something about flexibility. So it's not a very long practice. If you have a strap or a towel or a block, I'm just going to be using them so that you can see the options available to you as you're doing some of the poses. So I hope you enjoy, and it's not a very difficult practice. You won't get super sweaty, but it'll be really great to get you flexible all the way up and down. All right, today we're doing something different. It's so cold outside, so we are going to be in my room, which is kind of interesting, but you can do yoga anywhere, so that's a great reminder. Start with our standing mountain pose, your feet evenly, all four parts of your feet on the floor, a nice tall spine, head over your hips, and taking a deep breath up, stretch it up nice and tall, relax shoulders, and bring it down to your first forward fold. Go ahead and grab your elbows and keep your knees generously bent. We're going to take a long forward fold here to really get some blood moving in the back of your thighs to open up a little bit. Relax your head and your chin and your neck and your shoulders. So you're getting a good stretch in your back, body all the way up and down. I like to sway back and forth a little bit, side to side, to get some good stretch in the back of the legs. Inflate, long spine, relaxed neck. And take it all the way back down, forward fold. Put your hands on either side of your feet. Take back your right foot into a low lunge. Could be a high or a low lunge, putting that knee down. And you're just stretching into that hip. So your foot could be up, or you could have your knee down. Whatever you decide today, whatever's comfortable. And now bring yourself up to a higher position, and we're going to take a half split. So left leg is straight and that foot is flexed, and we're just going to bend nicely and easy over that, getting a good stretch in the back of the hamstring. But remember not to feel like you have to put your forehead down to your knee or do some really crazy stretch. Just take it easy, go down as far as you want, bring it back to the lunge, and slowly rock yourself, rock or walk yourself back to forward fold. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Left foot goes back in a lower high lunge. Your knee can be down or your foot can be tucked under and you could be up. Just getting a stretch into that hip. And then go ahead and lower that knee. Bring yourself up nice and tall. Stretch out the right leg and a nice tall chest. I like to put my splayed fingers on my chest sometimes just to remind myself to not curve over. And go ahead and bend that leg. Put your hands on either side. We're going to bring ourselves back into plank position. Long spine, whether you're on your knees or your toes. And you can see here I'm just kind of warming up. Very nice and loose. I'm bringing it down to the knees now, but with a nice straight line from the back of my neck down to my knees. And lowering down chaturanga down to the ground. Elbows pressed up against our spine. Baby cobra, gentle lift up, and then push into downward dog. Big exhale as you do that. And once again, I'm pedaling it out, twisting it out, getting movement and blood flowing through my body, making this a comfortable, easy pose. Breathing in deeply. And just to get a little bit of blood flowing, we'll do a couple of poses here before we get into some more stretches. We'll walk to the front of the mat, forward fold, stretching out again. And inhale, flat back. Exhale, deflate. Slowly bring yourself back up to standing mountain pose, arms up overhead. Inhale, exhale, prayer position with your hands. Inhale up, bring it up. And exhale all the way down to forward fold. And inhale with a nice flat back. Exhale, bring it down. Plank position. Knees or toes, really listen to your body every day. Chaturanga, take it down. Upward dog or baby cobra. Again, try different things. See what your body feels like that day. Exhale, downward dog. We're going to take your left foot up nice and high in the sky, three-legged dog. And bend that knee, bring it all the way forward, pivot on the back foot, come up for warrior two. Strong legs, both of them, tall, long spine. Both sides of your ribs are open and even. Arms are out to either side. And just feeling that strength in your legs and breathing evenly. And now we're going to bend that left elbow and the right comes up nice and high. In this side angle pose, I'm grabbing a block here to show you a couple different options. If you want to go lower, a lot of times in yoga we try to impress ourselves and impress the world, and blocks are a really great way to help us keep us to have good form. So I'm trying to keep both of my sides open. And now we're going to go into triangle pose, kicking your hips back, and both legs are straight this time. And once again, I'm going to use the block so I can go down a little bit, but keeping a nice open chest and sides nice and open. And stretching up nice and tall. Again, showing different blocks, different lengths you can use according to what's comfortable. One side of your body may be more flexible than the other. Bring yourself back up to warrior two, front knee bent, and to downward dog, a great resting position. Stretching long, long body. Take that right foot up nice and high, three-legged dog. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Bend that knee, take that knee forward, pivot on the back foot, and come up to warrior two. That front knee is bent. Your hips are facing sideways in the same direction as your back left foot. And now we're going to bring it forward to side angle pose. The arm is up nice and high. I'm going to grab my block again, same thing on the other side where I'm going a little lower, but I'm using the block to make sure my hip is open. I have my hand on my hip there and that my sides aren't collapsing. And bringing that arm up nice and tall, back up to warrior two, straightening out that front leg. And now I'm going into triangle pose where both of my legs are nice and straight. And you can put your hand all the way up on your thigh. You can have it on right below your knee. You can have it on a block. Blocks are a great thing to use to get deeper into poses without, just experimenting. And back up to warrior two. And we're going to walk it up to the front of the mat. There we go. Mountain pose, breathe it in, arms up, exhale, prayer position, hands, breathe up nice and tall, all the way down. This time we're going to lace our fingers behind us, and in forward fold, those arms are really going to stretch out as you take those arms straight behind you. Your shoulders should get a nice, good stretch, and just breathe into your shoulders. And release very gently to forward fold, inflate, flat back. Exhale, take it down, back to plank position. Go through a vinyasa here. That's what this movement's called, this flow of going down to chaturanga, up to either upward dog or baby cobra, and pushing back into downward dog. And breathe here for just a moment. And now left foot comes forward, and this time both your feet are going to face in the same direction, standing up nice and tall. We're going to do a wide-legged forward fold, and I'm bringing my block to show you a couple options of how you can use your block. So back straight as you forward fold, take it down. You can put your hands on the floor or on a block. The block is a great way to bring the floor to you. And I'm resting my forehead on the block as it's really tall so that I can feel like I'm leaning a bit on the block and really opening up my legs. Just breathe and hang out here for a little bit. Really fun stretch. And now I'm walking my fingers over to my left side, and my right arm is going up nice and high. It don't have to go up in the sky. You could just put it on your hip. You could have it up in the sky. You can have it, honestly, wherever you want to. You could try a little bind where you kind of flip it behind you. And bring it back center and walk your fingers over to the other side, to the right side. And your other arm comes up nice and high to a good spinal twist. You're twisting your spine at the same time as you're getting a good stretch in the back of your legs. And bring it back center, hands on your hips, flat back, pushing into your heels to stand up nice and tall. And now we're going to lace our fingers behind you and go back for another wide-legged forward fold, stretching out our shoulders. And my head just kicked the block out of the way on purpose so I could dangle extra low. Whatever. Having fun with it. Pushing into your heels, inhaling, bringing it back up nice and tall. All right, this is the fun one. We're going to walk your feet in a little bit. Your toes are still out. This is the yoga squat. You can sit on a block. I don't necessarily need to do that, but some people want to start out that way. Now here's what you do. You have your chest up nice and tall. You're not rounding over like that. Chest is up, and you're pushing your knees apart with your elbows as your hands are in prayer position. And this is just stretching out your hip and groin area. This is a comfortable position for most of the world to just hang out and sit in, except in America where we sit on chairs all the time and our muscles aren't flexible like that. So this is a different kind of flexibility. It's not just folding in half, but all these little muscles in our arms and our body. All right, pushing down, straightening up, and slowly we're going to bring it to downward dog. All right, breathing. Long body. And now our right foot goes up, back, and forward. And we're in a lunge. So both of our feet are facing in the same direction. And our hips are facing the same direction. And we're going to twist towards the bent knee in a little twist. Now, if you want, your hands can go in prayer position and you can go down for this nice little spinal twist, but only if you're not completely collapsing your sides. Again, don't try to impress anybody. If you want to just be upright in a twist for starters, do that. Bring it back up. Bring your back foot a lot closer so your feet are closer together. So both legs are straight. With a flat back, you're going to bend over that forward foot. And here I'm going to grab my block again. I can rest my hands on the block, and that way it keeps my back flat. I'm not falling over. It gives me some support as I'm stretching that hamstring in the front leg. And bringing it back up. I'm walking to the front of my mat. I'm going to go through a little vinyasa again. Inhale, prayer hands. Inhale, bring it all the way down to forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bring it down. Bring yourself back to plank position of your choice. Take it down. Gently bring yourself up and exhale into downward dog. And now our left foot comes forward. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're in a high lunge. Both your feet are facing in the same direction. Your hips are in the same direction. That back heel is actually, you can't see it because of the bed, but it's off the ground. And I'm going into the twist here. And I do like to kind of go down. It's one of my favorite poses, but if that doesn't feel comfortable, if you're falling over, if you feel like you're collapsing in your upper body, keep it upright in that upright twist like that. There we go. And now bring arms up and slowly walk your back foot in a little bit further. We're going to do that forward stretch on the other side. Flat back, bending forward. Both your legs are straight. You can rest your hands on your thighs. And I'm grabbing my block again to just help me get a little bit lower without feeling like I have to put my fingers on the mat, which may not be realistic at all for you. We're all in different levels. One leg is way more flexible than the other for me, so I'm just patient and gentle with that. And now we're going to take it back into downward dog. Last downward dog, I believe. Take your left foot, your left knee up to your left wrist, and this is pigeon. You've got both of your hips evenly distributing your weight, and this is a huge stretch for your hips. And you can be upright and just stay upright, or I'm leaning on my block. I've got my arms on my block and just hanging out here, getting a nice deep stretch, breathing into that hip. And because this side is my flexible side, I'm going to take it down, rest my head on the block, breathing into that hip. My back leg is stretched out behind me. That right leg is stretched out all behind me, and I'm just relaxing into it. We never want to strain or stretch in yoga or do anything that's uncomfortable, and that especially comes to stretching. You should feel a nice gentle stretch in your muscles, but not hurting your bones or ligaments or joints. You can kick up your back right leg, and if you can grab a hold of it, you can get a big old stretch in the quadricep. But if not, just kick it up or don't, or it's fine. Downward dog, pigeon on the other side. Our right knee comes forward to the right wrist. And again, start up upright with a nice tall back and only take it down as it's feeling comfortable. I'm leaning on my block again. And slowly I'm going to take it down as it feels comfortable and as my muscles loosen up. You may notice, relax your jaw or your shoulders or the upper back or your neck or your hips. We tend to carry a lot of stress and tension. And so as you're going through these long poses, don't just hold them, but rather make sure that you're relaxing and releasing. Back to downward dog. That's the last one, I promise. Downward dog and down to child's pose. That feels good. I'm really stretching out my arms in front of me to get a long back, long spine, stretching out my shoulders, my armpits. And we're going to take the left hand and crawl it underneath the right armpit and over and get a good spinal and shoulder twist, resting your head on the floor like a 5-year-old sleeping child. Yes, they can be found in positions such as this. It's hilarious if you've ever seen it. Breathe and relax. Gently take it up. And now the right goes under and down, and you get to relax here a little bit too. Stretching out your spine, your shoulder, all these muscles in the upper body and the upper back that can get really tense. And bring yourself back up, crisscross your feet, and bring yourself back to a seated position. I'm going to start getting ready to use straps for seated stretching. So first we're going to be in Cobblers Pose, sitting up nice and tall. You can grab your feet with your hands. And if you're going to lean forward, our chest is upright, and it's like your chest is connected to something across the room. We're not trying to collapse in this C shape and just fall over as low as you can. As you're bending forward, you're doing it with a nice integrity and a nice open chest and long sides. Feeling a stretch in your inner thighs. Flexibility is, as I said, all these little muscles throughout your whole body. And so this practice is really trying to address a whole bunch of them. I'm going to grab my strap for our staff forward fold pose. It's not really traditionally my favorite pose. And so I've really learned to try to take it easy. I sit up nice and tall, flat back, wrap that strap around both my feet, and I keep my feet apart and my knees wiggly. And I gently pull on the strap to go forward as much as I just feel good, where it should feel good and comfortable. And you can ease into it. I kind of rock side to side. This isn't a test to see how far down you can go. Just breathing into the back of your legs. Feeling those muscles relax. Sometimes we are tensing the muscles we're trying to stretch, which doesn't work very well. So relax those, wiggle your legs if you need to, wiggle your body. Gently, of course. And gently bring it back up. Now this is one of my favorite stretches, wide-legged stretch here. Again, push forward and sit up nice and tall. And if you're good here, stay here. If you don't feel like you're very flexible in your inner thighs, you don't necessarily have to do anything. But I'm going to grab a strap on one side, on my left side, and turn sideways and fold sideways. And at this point, the camera's not so awesome in getting what I'm doing, so sorry about that. But most of you have done something similar to this. So you kind of know what's going on. And I sort of grab the strap and I'm walking over to the other side. I'm strapping my right foot and just going sideways, a nice sideways bend. And my knees, I'm trying to keep my knees open and not collapsed in. My feet aren't collapsing in. I'm trying to keep my chest and my sides open. And back to the center and just hanging out here. Once again, if you're just sitting up nice and tall with your arms behind you and you're getting a good stretch in your inner thigh, awesome. You don't have to bend in half or anything. All right, so I'm bringing the strap to the other side, but this time my chest is facing my toes. It's just a little bit different of a stretch. Chest is facing the leg instead of a sideways stretch. And again, I'm just pulling on that strap gently to give me a little help, but I'm not straining, I'm not forcing. I'm trying to make this fun and gentle, loving the body you're in, treating it nicely, giving it the exercise and the strength and the blood flow that it needs to be healthy. So chest is facing the other side here, and I bring it back to the center, just a little center stretch as feels comfortable. And gently bring it slowly back up. Wiggle those knees out, bringing your legs together, and come to a seated position. Knees are up, and bend your chest, bend your spine rather, and slowly bring it all the way down. All right. Grab your right knee, hug it into your body, and pull it across your body over to your left side. This is one of my favorite spinal twists. Both of your shoulders should feel like they're staying on the ground. Your arms are splayed out like a T. You're feeling a twist all the way through your spine and possibly your hip. And that's great. Gently bring that knee up, hug your knee, bring in your left and trade. Right leg goes straight, left bent knee goes across your body to the right side and stretch on the other side. All of the stretches I'm doing, you could do twice as long. I'm kind of doing the minimum maybe to really find that flexibility. So if one of these stretches feels extra good, do it twice as long and feel those gentle effects of those muscles loosening up. Breathing and hug that knee back in. Both of your knees, hug them in. Rock side to side for a little bit if you want. Put your feet flat on the floor and slowly bring yourself to Shavasana. Relaxing head to toe, scan your body, relaxing your face all the way down to your toes, and then observe your breath. Observe how you feel. Enjoy how you feel. Send yourself positive, loving thoughts for this body that is your partner in life, this gift you've been given to experience the joy, beauty, and craziness of life. I will stop talking now. Enjoy your Shavasana, and namaste, friends.